What's up, y'all? Welcome back, AA Fitness Live. Every Sunday, noon Eastern. Today, we're talking about the oldest debate in the book, free weights versus machines. Yeah. But first, let's update you on Miguel. Tough battle at the Philadelphia Classic. He finished third in the Open, second in Novice. It's not where we wanted. I had him second in the Open. It's not where we wanted. But I'm still proud of him. Did a great job. Beat his physique from last year, beat his posing from last year, beat his stage presence from last year. So keep that name, Miguel Paula, in your head.
Absolutely.
If he wants to pursue this sport, he's got mad potential. All right. Good luck, Miguel, and we'll keep you posted on his future.
All right. Time for the age-old battle royale, free weights versus machines, y'all.
There is an answer. There's a clear answer, and I'm going to prove it at the end of this video. And I'm going to spring it on Camille, and she loves it when I do that.
Oh, no, she does not. All right, so let me just start by saying both free weights and machines definitely have their merit. And, the goal here for this video is to really understand when and how to use each one. So that's like my starting caveat.
Yes.
So let's get into what are some of the advantages of free weights. We'll start with free weights.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Stabilize the muscles, more load on your muscles, natural range of motion. These are advantages, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you got more selection with free weights. You're not locked into machines. You can do more exercises, etc. So you can take a set of dumbbells and get a complete total body workout, where if you got a leg extension machine, all you're working is quads.
All right. So James said a lot there. So let's break down each one. So I think you start with they're really great for stabilizer muscles.
Yep.
So that is really important as you are lifting and trying to have that deep mind muscle connection. Like you need to be in tune and use all of those stabilizer muscles. It helps protect you, make sure you're using good form, and allows you to lift pretty heavy weights because they're all being recruited to assist. So free weights are really good at activating all of those muscles because you're not locked into a specific range of motion. You are free to move about in space, recruiting all of those extra muscles.
Yeah, if you don't have an idea what we're talking about, grab somebody that's never bench pressed before. Just put them on the bench and let them grab the bar. They're going to do this.
Yeah, they're going to be a little wobbly and shaky.
It only takes 2 or 3 workouts for those stabilizing muscles to fix it. So it's only going to happen 2 or 3 times, but I guarantee you the first time. In my personal story, I grew up with those plastic weights in the basement, so I was bench pressing that. And when I went to the Olympic bar, I was going, whoa.
Yeah,
I have to stabilize this because it's 3 feet longer and different. So even that, and if you're coming from Planet Fitness doing the Smith machine, as soon as you get that free weight bar, you're going to be doing
Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes a huge difference. We're talking about hypertrophy here, but if we're talking about other type of competitive, or competitions like strongman, powerlifting, they're using all free weights, y'all. Like there's no machines involved there. They got the barbell, they got the weights, the stones, whatever. And they're using all those little stabilizer muscles to help move off those big heavy weights.
Yep.
It's more of like a complete workout too, because you are using more muscle fibers and recruiting a lot more using the free weights. You're able to burn a lot more calories a lot of times too.
Man, these free weights sound great.
And then another thing I think I heard you say, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you have a lot more selection, right? Like you can be more creative and you're not stuck to like the same traditional movement all the time.
Correct. I said you can take one set of dumbbells and do a total body workout, whereas if you got a leg extension machine, all you're working is your quads.
Yeah. I mean, and just think about like taking a set of dumbbells like this and think about all the different ways you could train biceps, right? Like you could do traditional curls, drag curls, hammer curls. You could do partials, reverse. You could do some kind of hybrid. So you could do waiter curls. I mean, it's almost infinite amount of exercises you can do. And all you have to do is get one, small pair of dumbbells or whatever. So It's very versatile, pocketbook friendly. On the other hand, you're not necessarily going to go out and buy a preacher curl machine, right?
It's not going to fit in your purse, that's for sure.
That's true. All right. So I think those are, I mean, probably all of the advantages, I would say, for the most part. We might get into some others as we go through it.
Yeah, as far as strength and hypertrophy goes, you're not going to beat a barbell. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's talk about a little bit about machines now. So what are some of the, benefits for machines?
They will isolate your muscles better, in my opinion. Normally, they have a very good arc, so the resistance gets harder as you go up
That's true.
in the range of motion. If you have the right kind of equipment and the good, expensive stuff. Less risk of injury because you're locked in. If you panic, if you get stuck on a Smith machine, you just hook it. If you're on a bench press machine with plates or even cable, all you gotta do is let go. It's not gonna smash your chest. It's not gonna land on your neck, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it, but that controlled movement patterns, pretty useful, especially for sometimes like novice lifters. They get nervous going to the gym and like picking up the barbell and doing like, a squat or something. Whereas if you're on the Smith machine, you're locked into a certain movement pattern, right? Like it's straight up, straight down. Actually, it's on a slight angle, but that's besides the point. Straight up, straight down. And you don't have to worry about that lumbar or core support. You don't have to worry about your form. Like you, for the most part, know that you're going to hit the lift.
Yeah. I think machines are a lot less intimidating. I think is what you just kind of said.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, it's less intimidating, but there's usually less risk for injury because it's usually self-explanatory on how to use it for the most part. Although I've seen some weird stuff. I've seen some weird stuff, y'all, on the machines.
Listen, every machine has a picture on it of how the machine works, what muscle it's working, and how you use it. Just look at the pictures. If you're doing something that's not on the picture, you should probably get on a different machine or go to free weights.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think James hit it. It's the isolation, right? So if I'm trying to get bigger quads, the leg extensions where it's at, I don't, I'm not fatiguing my hamstrings, my glutes, my calves, whatever. Like I'm focused on quads.
One muscle, right?
Yeah.
I don't even think you can do that with a free weight. Can you isolate a quad with free weight exercise?
It'd be very challenging.
Extremely.
I could probably get really creative because you can be really creative with the dumbbells, y'all. No, just kidding.
We're talking about leg extension, but I also love preacher curl.
Yeah.
That isolates the biceps like nothing else. You can do them on free weight with a barbell, but it's not the same.
Right.
And for whatever reason, that cable resistance, man, that's a good machine.
Absolutely. I mean, there's tons of great machines and, it's targeted loading. So, if you're doing flies, you're working chest, your shoulders and everything else, triceps aren't getting in the way. It's chest. So for me, that works really well.
Yeah. That's a good point. Most machines isolate one body part.
Yeah.
You don't really have too many compound machines. Really. I mean, most of them are isolation, right. Bicep, tricep, quad, hamstring, calf. You get with the bench press or a row, you get compound moves in there, but it's not a barbell.
Right. So, I mean, for me personally, I think a hybrid approach of using free weights in machines is the right way to go. That's that periodization, where you're specifically having certain phases where you're introducing, the different type of stimulus. Like James said, if you've always been doing free weight bench press and you've never done a barbell, well, introducing that's going to take your ability to stimulate those muscles to the next level, leading to growth. So
any trainer is going to tell you a good combination of both free weights and machine is the best way to go, and that is the answer. I mean, that's common sense at this point. A good mix of both. They both have pros and cons, but again, there is an answer.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing that I like to do anyway when it comes to the compound exercises, those big nasty exercises, most bang for their buck, I really do recommend using free weights for that versus a machine if you have it available to you.
100%.
I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. Like I've tried deadlifting from a Smith machine And every time I
Yes.
end up blowing out a knee.
Agreed. I hate deadlifting on a Smith machine. I agree with that 100%. I would take the free weight over the Smith machine any day. Squats, I like to squat in the Smith machine. Not better than free weights, but
Right.
I do like to squat in the Smith.
Like everyone's so individualized. You guys all move in your own special way. So sometimes with those big, heavy compounds, being restricted in that manner just leads to injury. Another example is maybe like a chest press or something like that. Like you may not fit right in the machine.
Yes.
And you need that flexibility of dumbbells or a barbell even to be able to execute it properly.
I'm glad you brought that up. If you're rather large or rather small, the machines aren't going to fit you.
This is true.
They are built for average height, average weight. So believe me, if you're 7 feet tall, you're not going to be able to fit in too many machines. We got a question, y'all. Shakib says, does aerobic exercise burn fat and get you ripped? Answer, yes. Is calorie deficit enough? Answer, yes. The best thing to do is a combination of both. You can eat more, you can eat less. You can move more or you can eat less, or a combination of the two.
Let me caveat that though. You have to have muscle in the first place, right? Because if you're at a caloric deficit, stripping off that fat and there's no muscle there, you may not have that ripped look that you're looking for. So you definitely have to put the work in and train hard and have that like good training stimulus using resistance training, not just aerobic.
Good point. You lived it. So if you don't have the muscle, you're just going to look skinny.
Yeah.
If you got muscle, now you're going to look ripped.
Yeah, and I definitely lived that, y'all. Like I was 214, I think, at my heaviest, and I went down to 134, and I looked like a string bean. Like I definitely wasn't happy with that. Like I definitely didn't have the ripped look I was looking for. So then I started applying more of a resistance training program in addition to that aerobic exercise, and then that's when I was able to pull out more muscle on and have that look that I wanted.
Good example. Chucky with another question. When to eat a cheat meal? Great question. Cheat meals are for when you are ahead of the game. So if you have a goal to lose 10 pounds in 3 weeks and you lost 9 in 1 week, this is hypothetical. You're not going to do that. There's your cheat meal because you're way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Other than that, cheat meals don't exist.
Well, maybe like if your metabolism stalled too, though. Like let's say you've been losing like 2 pounds a week consistently, and then all of a sudden you're like on week 6 or 8, and you're like, I'm stuck, and you're stuck for several weeks. Like you might need to refeed yourself to ramp up that metabolism again.
I stand corrected. 2 times for a cheat meal. Ramp your metabolism up, or if you're way ahead of the game.
I gotta get him now, y'all, because I know he's saving something for the end on this whole free weight versus machine thing. So yeah, we were talking about the hybrid approach. Everyone's different, so you're gonna have to individualize what works best for you, what combo of machine versus free weight. But I think the key is regardless of which one, you want to progressively overload. So keep doing that regardless of what modality that you're using, and then you're going to get those gains.
And eventually, myself and I actually have a few clients that have the problem is we're too strong for the machines. We started, 6 to 10 reps and kept adding weight. Now we got the whole stack and we're doing 11 reps and it's easy. So we got to pick something else or figure out a way to add weight to that machine.
I mean, a great technique there would be to superset it. So superset it with some type of free weight, right? So maybe you pre-exhaust on that bench press and then follow up with a machine press or fly or something like that.
Yep. You're very welcome, Shakib. Thank you for the questions, brother.
Yeah. So how do you think training experience level plays into the whole free weights versus machine thing? Like beginner, intermediate, advanced?
I know there's an answer to this, but I don't know what it is. I would like, if it's a client of mine, I would like you to get started on the free weights as soon as possible. Get those stabilizer muscles going, get used to the movements. Yeah, we're going to put machines in there as well. And I know they're going to help you with your neuromuscular pathway, your mind and muscle connection, everything else. But I'm also going to start you in free weights. It's just, I don't want you to hold off and wait for any reason to get over to those free weights.
Yeah, no, James already beat it to me. I would, number one for beginner, recommend starting with free weights to help establish that neuromuscular efficiency. Because if you can't figure out what muscle needs to fire when you're doing the lift, you're not going to be able to really reap the benefits from that exercise. So that is a perfect place to start with free weights for a beginner. Plus there's the whole safety and learning curve, right? So it's a lot easier to teach, proper form on a deadlift using some dumbbells or a light barbell to start with than trying to do it on a machine, which is harder to explain sometimes.
Yeah, and most young men, I don't know about women, but most young men start in a basement or garage where there are no machines.
This is true.
Most are too young to even join a gym. I know I was. So my parents every Christmas would buy me a weight set. I'd outgrow the set, so they had to buy me another set the following year. But I was in the basement training with those plastic weights for years before I hit a gym.
Yeah. And now like intermediate lifters, I think this is where they do need to mix in a fair amount of machines. This is when they start to notice that maybe there's lagging muscle groups or deficiencies, and they need to do some correction there. And so that's where the isolation capability of the machines really comes to play. Like they start to become aware, right?
Agreed, but I'm going to say that's for advanced lifter who has weak points. Now you can target those muscles with those machines specific. So for me, personal example, lower lats. I need more lower lat sweep. I go to Planet Fitness and hit their back machines because I can feel it working more than any free weight exercise I've ever done. Yes, I built most of my mass with barbell rows, 100%, but I can really feel that lower lat, that one specific spot way at the bottom here, the whole time I'm locked into that machine.
Yeah, I also think, the intermediate lifters, now that they know what muscles are supposed to be firing and what it's supposed to feel like, going to machines makes sense now. And they know like what to squeeze, when to squeeze it versus like when they were just getting started, they're just, lifting weight up and down. They're not really, thinking about it too hard. So
I mean, you got a point. You're not going to feel a lat until you develop that muscle a little bit. If it's not there, you're not going to feel it working. You can develop it with them big barbell rows, but then really lock in and isolate it on that machine.
Right. And then advanced, James hit it, like you are at some point going to peg out those machines. You're going to have to go free weight if you're going to continue to progressively overload and try to gain strength. So again, a little bit of both. And then to his point on the isolation, like you need the machines as an advanced lifter to help correct imbalances or symmetry things.
Yeah. And even as an advanced lifter, now you're talking about the intensifying techniques like a superset.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of quad weakness. I'm going to superset leg extensions before I go and do my squats. That way I'm blowing the quads apart with a machine first, isolate it, pre-exhaust it, and then hit it with the squats.
You got it. So all in all, I would say a mixture of both for sure. But, when you're a beginner just starting out, definitely emphasize free weight training. As you get a little more advanced, incorporate some machines, make the hybrid approach. And then as advanced, do what you need. Like if you need to build that strength and really stimulate those muscles, then definitely use the free weights. And then if you need to fix something, a machine.
Yes, anybody's going to tell you a good mix of both is 100% the answer. However,
what's the answer?
I have one question, and it's going to answer everybody's question. And ask yourself at home this question right now. If you had to choose only one, which would it be? Camille.
Oh, am I going to answer that?
Yes, you are.
I'm going to answer free weights.
Me too. Yes. And I'm willing to bet 99.9% of you at home said free weights as well. And you are correct. If you have to pick one, free weights are going to be the way to go. Because like I said, you give me a barbell and some weights, I can do deadlifts, straight leg deadlifts, squats, lunges. You give me a leg extension machine, all I can work is squats.
You got it.
So, and go ahead and ask around your gym. Ask the big guys. Ask the big girls.
Sure.
Hey, if you had to pick one, and I'll put money on it, every answer is going to be free weights. So there is an answer. Ask yourself.
Absolutely. So if you guys have been doing nothing but machines, and I see people doing this. I see it all the time at Planet Fitness. They're in the little circuit area going machine to machine to machine to machine.
Doing the same work.
Same thing. And it's because it's that nice safe space. Like It's pretty self-explanatory, like branch out. Just
How do
one
they-
exercise at a time.
How do their physiques look? The people that come in
The
that circle?
same month after month after month after month.
The same. 100% the same. And you see this plague almost in every gym everywhere. It's, folks just look the same.
Yeah.
If you want to make gains, you got to do something different.
Well, if you're watching this channel, you want to make the gains. So get out there and hit those free weights, y'all.
You got it. And progressively overload, because I don't care if you're lifting a machine or a free weight. If you're not progressively overloading, you're not making gains. So get those gains. Go hard.
That's right. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for tuning in. This channel is for you. So definitely stop by every Sunday at 12 Eastern. Get your questions answered. If you want us to film something for you, we can do that as well. But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
And there is an answer. Ask yourself which one you would prefer.
It's free weight.